5 out basketball, 5 segments, 5 takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is 5 out basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to actually transition this into our next segment because this is one of the conversations I want to have. Player breakdown time. We're going to talk about Luka Doncic, and I have 2 questions. Right into it. No time to transition. Where do you rate Luka Doncic in the NBA right now? Top what?
I'll be honest, bro. Luka got to be 3. Like, if Luka's on your top 3, I think 1, we can all admit he's past Steph. I feel like, if you're still hanging on to Steph being the best player in the league, you're blocked up here.
Yeah.
Because, look, you can't look at what Luka's doing and say, nah, Steph's still better. Nah, bro. You have to accept your fate. Luka is the best point guard in the league. It's okay. It's fine.
It is.
But I'd say Luka's 3rd for me right now.
Yeah, this is where we differ, and this is what maybe we want to talk about it because I think Luka is the 2nd best player in the NBA. I have him over Giannis.
Okay, that's fair.
Giannis, again, I know I just praised it, but this is where I'm going to go straight into dogging on it right afterwards because I am a big fat hypocrite. And I'm going to be a hypocrite twice. I was talking last episode about the skill conversation. I just think Luka's more skilled and more talented because, like, Giannis, he is fantastic at what he does. But the halfback dive up the middle, I just can't take over the skill of Luka. I can't take that over the skill of Luka, who can hit any shot in the world. Is also an incredible passer, gets the rebounds, brilliant scorer. Like, tell me, does Luka have a cold zone on the court? Because I can't say so.
Honestly, no.
Yeah, because Giannis can't hit a free throw, can't hit a 3-point shot, but Luka I can trust anywhere on the court to get a bucket and to pass the ball. I know Giannis is an incredible defender and has had more success, but I just can't hold the success on Luka when Mark Cuban has been the owner and has paired him with Maxi Kleber as a starting center. Like, Luka, I can't blame you on that. So I think Luka, is a little more skilled than Giannis, so I think he is the 2nd best player in the NBA behind Nikola Jokic.
So wait, Luka's Mbappe and Giannis is Haaland? Is that what you're getting at?
That's what I'm getting at. And guess what? I'm taking Mbappe over Haaland 10 out of 10 times. Yeah.
Me too. Definitely. So I guess, damn, now I sound like a hypocrite.
We're both
but
hypocrites.
I don't know. It's
we
literally
just gaslight ourselves into believing our takes.
It's okay. That's human. We're human.
Yeah.
But with Giannis, it's defense for me. But I guess that's kind of stupid because Jokic just unanimously won, but it's hard not to have Jokic won. I'm not gonna lie.
And I think Jokic is an underrated defender. Like, I'm not saying he's like all NBA defensive or nothing like that. But people straight up tell you Jokic is a cone on defense. It's like, shut up.
He's not a cone. He's definitely not a cone, dude. No. If you know ball, Jokic is not a cone on defense at all.
Yeah, but now to get back to Luka, because I'm glad you can agree Luka is better than Stephen Curry. I don't think Stephen Curry's ever been as good as a passer Luka was. And Luka, there's an argument to be made that Luka is the best pick and roll passer we've already ever seen in the league in the NBA. Because some of these oops he can throw is ridiculous. The guy has a 3rd and 4th eye. Like, he can just see everything. It's incredible. Don't make a glasses joke, by the way. You guys aren't funny in the comments. Like, oh, you have 4 eyes too. Shut up.
I'm not gonna lie, Luka's passing bag,
unmatched.
Bro, the passes when he does that, or even when he against the Pacers when he's going out of bounds and just flips the ball around. Yeah. Come on, bro. Like, the passes Luka makes, I'm like, yo, what is this dude on right now?
If this was the 1800s and Luka was in Salem, they would have hung him for being a witch.
Yeah,
because those are the passes he makes. Because it's just incredible. The ball movement's nuts, and he's a great shooter as well. It's just, Stephen Curry, I know it's bad. Like, I don't want to say, okay, bad is the wrong word. Stephen Curry's passing isn't the level of Luka's now, but I don't think there's ever a time in a career I can be like, oh, yeah, Stephen Curry was a better passer than Luka is now. So I don't know how you can make the argument that Stephen Curry is better than Luka Doncic at the moment because Luka is a better all-around player. No question.
Yeah. Even defense, too.
Yeah. Man, that's rough. Yeah, so
tough.
Also, LeBron's not better than Luka. Sorry, LeBron sexuals. Come at me all you want. Let's be serious.
Let's keep it in mind this. It always comes back to Luka. Like, when it comes to guards, it's like, is he better than Luka now? If that's the spot you're in, you're probably the best at what you do. Let's just be honest. Like, every week it's like, is SGA better than Luka? No. Is Ant Edwards better than Luka? Is Devin Booker better than? If it's always you, it's kind of like, I know we keep doing other references, but to people who watch soccer, it's always Reece James is better than Trent. Kyle Walker is better than Trent. blah 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 is better than Trent.
Yeah.
That means Trent got to be the best at what he does, right?
Real.
Like, come on now. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
Luka is the
Everton
best.
heard the Real Madrid rumors and had to bring up the Trent talk.
Might have heard him. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain. But yeah, no, it's just another person that I've heard is better than Luca, and this conversation straight up pisses me off is Jason Tatum.
Oh,
Let's be real, guys. Jason Tatum has some nights where he is just not hooping. He could not give a fuck because he has 5 other stars next to him. Luca has to hoop every night. And not only is
yeah.
that, Luca hoops every night.
Every night, bro. Like,
So
I'd be
I'm
looking at
showing
these
what's up.
halftime box scores.
Yeah.
Bro's got 20 at half, like damn near
Yeah.
every game, dude. Like,
Yeah, with
what?
like 6 rebounds and 5 assists. It's like it's halftime. Most players aren't even not even gonna have these stats at the end of the game. Like
Exactly.
it's very random. Kobe White will end the game with that stat. I'm like, Kobe White's the GOAT when Luca's literally doing that at halftime, man. Yeah, he's one of a kind. I'm done with that conversation. I want to bury
Yeah,
that into the ground.
me too.
You can still make the argument for Giannis if you want. I'm not gonna get pissed off over it, but I would
No,
still personally take Luka as the second best player in the NBA.
which is fair. I ain't mad at it.
But this is the second topic I want to talk about in this Luka Doncic player breakdown. Is
Mhm.
how good does he need to be for Dallas to have success in this playoffs? Like, if you were to rank the Mavericks against these other teams, what does Luka need to do to get the Mavericks far? Let's not even say finals. Let's say Western Conference Finals.
So Luka's at the level where I feel like no matter what, they're a threat. Like
Hmm.
he's in that bracket of player where like, yeah, we have a better team, but they got Luka though. Like Luka's
Hmm.
that level of player, especially in the playoffs. Like Luka's been good in every playoffs. Like
Yeah.
Luka's been monstrous in like every playoffs. Like I tweeted out this like 2 years ago when they're playing the Clippers, and I just said, yo, Luka legit might hate the Clippers. Because this dude
Yeah.
always has some generational game against the Clippers or just a series in general. So Luka's proven it in the playoffs. And I think he's in that tier of player where like, hey, they got Luka though, you know?
Hmm.
So I think they're a threat to any team just off strictly having Luka. And I'm not gonna lie, Luka's gonna have to put up the numbers that he always puts up. He's probably gonna put up 37, 10, and 10. Like he's gonna have to
Hmm.
put up those monstrous numbers. And this is probably the best team he's been on, ironically. Like this team isn't
Yeah.
crazy good, but this is definitely the best Mavs team I think they've put together in
Hmm.
Luka's like tenure there. So
Yeah, it's not full of star players, but you have the players you want to pair next to Luca outside of like an elite perimeter defender. But you have,
yeah.
I think I can confidently say this, the best second player in the NBA in
Mm.
Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's been fucking awesome. Also another
Oh
underrated
my
player.
goodness.
He wasn't started
Yeah.
getting this love until that buzzer beater he hit against the Nuggets, which is probably the I'm not gonna say the best buzzer beater of all time, but I know Kyrie Irving fans are gonna love this conversation. The most skilled buzzer beater we've ever seen just because that shot was ridiculous.
It
I don't know how
was.
anybody can hit that.
I definitely couldn't make that,
Yeah,
bro. Like
yeah, and then
lefty skyhook from the free throw line. What?
ridiculous. But then here is the counter argument. Let's
Hmm.
say you're a coach and you're going against the Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs. How are you stopping Luka Doncic? Because I think that's a question everybody's trying to figure out.
So Luca again is in that tier player where like there's like those guys where you're like we really can't stop him, but we're gonna have to
Mhm.
just live with what he does. And I think
Yeah.
Luca's one of those dudes where you're like you can throw double teams at him. He's gonna just find the open dude. So it's not
Mhm.
even like really that effective to do so, especially with the Mavericks team. Like, okay, you double him, Kyrie might be open. You can't do that, right?
No.
Tim Hardaway, depending on the game, you might be able to
Yeah.
do that. But Daniel Gafford, bro, almost broke a record making
A
shots in a
Wilt
row. Derek
Chamberlain
Lively,
record of any.
of course, it's a Wilt Chamberlain record too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Derek, I feel like, bro, is it okay? Side tangent. Why do all these records have to be Wilts? Are they just making that up? Oh, that's a good record. It's Wilts. Did y'all know that? Like, come on. Anyways,
Nah, because they're waiting for a player to break that record just so it could be more historic. Because the fact Wilt says like, "Oh, Wilt was this mysterious figure. If this player could break it, how good are they are?" Like, oh, they got the
that
agendas ready,
true. That's true. Yeah, low key. They're
and
just like,
all
ooh,
Wilt's
Wilt.
records are fake.
Y'all hear that? Did Wilt actually exist? Was he a real person? But like Luka's too dynamic to really like stop per se. Like I guess the Warriors and 2 years ago when they played the Mavs in the playoffs did the best any team probably could have done in terms of stopping Luka. But at the end of the day, there's no like stopping Luka. You kind of just have to live with the Luka like experience and kind of just worry about the rest of the pieces to the puzzle.
So would you say the secret to beating the Mavericks is just stopping Kyrie Irving? Because Luka can still give you 40, but if you can hold Kyrie to not having a crazy game, that's how you beat the Mavericks.
I think so, because there's plenty of games where Luka has these monster games and they still lose because the rest of the team really isn't up to par. So I feel like if you're a team, in the playoffs, like you just kind of live with Luka. Hey, Luka gave us 40, but the rest of the team didn't do too good, and that's all we needed to do. So I think that's the game plan. Just kind of, I'm not gonna say like just let Luka cook, but like you're gonna just kind of, because if you let Luka cook too much, he might go for 100 points. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But like, kind of live with the kind of BS, because Luka, we're gonna talk about this when it comes to his strengths and weaknesses. He just be making shit sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, but like Loki, if you've seen that little random hook he made against the Nets early in the season, like shots like those, you kind of just have to be like, bro, what are we supposed to do? So
Just
Luka
injure
just be
him.
making shit sometimes, but rest of the team, hone in on the rest of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we move on, these strengths and weaknesses, strengths can make any shot. It could be a full court shot blindfolded with one arm, and I will still bet on Luka to make that shot. He's just that level of player. And then you can make an argument the best passer in the NBA, especially on the run Tyrese Halliburton's on. Still willing to pull down any rebound in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a great personality. Who doesn't like Luka Doncic?
Who doesn't like Luka?
If you don't like Luka, touch grass.
You don't like NBA basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
But Everton, what weaknesses do you think Luka has?
So weaknesses, I think the easy one is defense. While he's an improved defender, like I don't think he's just a cone. I think he's beat the cone levels of defense, but he's not a strong defender yet, which I think is okay. Like I feel like if you're a good team, like if you're good at front office, you just get defenders and he'll be fine, right?
But they haven't. they
haven't.
For some reason don't want to.
I think another weakness is usage. Now, this season, I think he's been a bit more off ball compared to others. If I don't quote me, the numbers might say differently, but I feel like that I've been watching Mavs games where Luka's a bit more comfortable just letting Kyrie do Kyrie things. Like Kyrie getting that last shot. In past years, Luka might have been like, "Nah, give me that ball. I'm taking that last shot." Right? But he let Kyrie take the last, and he's been. I've seen more games where like Luka's like, "Hey, y'all got it. I'm gonna still get mine," and Luka gonna get his.
Yeah.
But I still think it's in the, because especially in the playoffs, guys like Luka who have usages like that always tend to burn out. Now, that hasn't happened to him per se, but regardless, that's still going to be, I guess, a part of a weakness. And here's an underrated weakness: emotion.
That's a good shout.
He might lead the league in texts because he's always like the only person who might be worse than Luka in terms of emotions is Jason Tatum. But Luka,
Draymond Green doesn't need to be in that conversation.
Oh, I mean, we're not counting Draymond.
Yeah,
Draymond, we know.
He's a different tier.
Different tier of emotion. But what I'm talking about, like star players who just like there's three dudes that come to mind: Luka, JT, and LeBron.
Yeah.
Sorry, bisexuals, but like these dudes average at least 16 of these a game.
16 shrugs.
Like they do the too much. I think Luka, for him, like he's calmed it down a little bit more this season compared to like last season, where it's like, bro, Luka, it's okay, bro. Get back on defense. But like still a part of a weaknesses for him. I think that's an underrated weakness that isn't directly basketball related and more of a personal thing. But for his sake, I think he should hone in on the emotions a bit more.
That's a great shot because you really don't want to get a dumb technical in the playoffs because we know referees can ruin a game if they really want to. So let Luka get too emotional. The Mavericks season can end just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to be it for our player breakdown. Excited to see what the Mavericks do in the playoffs because that's going to be fun. Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out Podcast. I am Joey, the Master LeMaster, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.